Thank you. People don't follow people. People don't listen to people whose lives you wouldn't want. There you go, man. There you go. The Destiny's fans are losers. Every one of them are losers. Destiny's fans are losers. You are taking cues from a man who plays video games for a living, which is fine, but not fine for you, losers.
One of the things I brought up before that I thought was funny when Sneako said this, because I thought it was really telling, is when Sneako was one of the big ways that Sneako like owned Moist Critical was he was like, Charlie, your fans, you're not a role model for how they should all live their lives or something. And it's like, why does every single person whose content you consume, why do they all have to be role models for you? Like, how many daddy issues do you have that every single piece of content you consume has to come from a man whose life you want to emulate? Like, it's so weird.
Look, here's the most important thing to understand about Sneako. He is who he talks to. He's a chameleon, constantly trying to fit in with whoever interests him that week, scrapping his prior code like a good robot. I mean, he talks to this guy.
The bot is somebody that runs on autopilot. It's somebody that runs on a script that's been programmed.
Imagine caring what people think. I see so many people worried about other people's opinion.
You know what they're afraid to say? A lot of these smart dudes who've made it out of the Matrix.
The broke people, bots.
Most of you are bots, and you're stupid.
And suddenly he's talking about how everyone's in the Matrix and we're all bots.
Bot! You're a bot. A servant to the...
There's got to be some kind of circular, would this be actual true irony? Or I don't know what you would call it, where like you created a whole script and thing to describe other people in a derisive way, but it actually perfectly describes you. Like Sneako probably has developed the best jargon in the world to describe exactly what he is. Like a bot NPC that gets his programming from the Matrix so that he doesn't have to think about anything for himself. He literally describes it like the programming is, you know, whatever, well, it was the Tates, it was Islam, I don't know what it is now, but whatever his current role model says. And then the take is to just go and be mean to people on Twitter over trans issues or whatever in the most predictable ways possible. Right now, the current programming is like the WEF, the globalists, the crickets, the blah, blah, like it's like the most predictable stuff ever. Like Sneako will never say anything. As long as you know who he's listening to, he'll never say anything that surprises you, you know?
So he started streaming, and that was when he discovered a truly worthy sensei, a wise man who opened his eyes to the true nature of the world.
Daddy!
This is like artistic Zoomer instead of normal Zoomer. Okay.
I want to tell you something, my boy. Yes, Daddy?
I have the biggest in the world. This girlfriend, I really like her, but she has these male friends. Make her choose. You are the friends. She's gonna them eventually otherwise. Like, what are you delaying this for? She obviously is gonna get drunk one night and suck.
My girlfriend's gonna suck another man's tonight. If I let her out of my sight.
I literally agree with everything he's saying.
My girlfriend's gonna suck another man's tonight. If I let her out of my sight.
You think Tate is goofy? Who the f do you like? Who do you look up to?
I don't look up to anyone, bro.
You should have a role model.
Why?
Every man should have a, or else how do you act? How do you base your decisions?
On what I think is right. Who do you think acts right and who do you think acts wrong?
Someone like Tate.
You think Tate acts right?
Yeah.
Like my goal in being a content creator is not like to have people copy every facet of my life. I usually just want to, my main thing is like talking about politics. Then I guess we also talk about like relationships and stuff, or we'll talk about like video games or whatever. But like my big thing is like I want you to have like certain ways of generating political ideas. But I feel like on these guys, like the goal is just always you should copy every single thing about my life and be me and copy me and do what I do because that's the only way I get affirmation. It's such a weird position. I don't know.
Plays video games for a living, which is fine, but not fine for you, losers. Who's been through two marriages. One of them was an open marriage. Who put his hand who choked his woman out. He actually
what the oh man. The mythos of Destiny Bonnell, Stephen Kenneth II.
Admitted that on camera, whose life is an abject disaster and he's addicted to Adderall.
to the right medication.
And then I get these idiots coming at me. Well, Destiny is still richer than you. I remember one guy called me up. He's like, well, Destiny's richer than you and his woman is hotter than you. I'm like, okay. It doesn't count if his...
It doesn't count if his... I know what he's going to say. The actual answer is, the only thing that really matters is are you happy and content? And do you feel some sense of like fulfillment in your life? Those are the only two real things that matter. Are you happy? As in, are all your hedonistic needs met? Meaning, do you get to eat the food you want? Do you live like in a comfortable place? Do you know, all the things that make you happy? And then do you have some sense of fulfillment? Is there like some type of long-term, more like spiritually gratifying or, I don't know, what's like a good secular replacement for spiritually satisfying, some sort of like fulfilling thing, hobby. It could be hobby, it could be education, it could be career, whatever that you invest yourself in, right? As long as these two things are met roughly, and there's a large variety of ways to meet these things, then yeah, I think you're doing pretty good. Those are the big markers for success, I think. He's going to say, because my wife other people. Guaranteed. R Bunch, thanks for the 1 gifted sub.
Wife is other people.
I was going to go live at 12:30 today. And I pre-watched this. I did watch this in advance. So that I would be able to give that quote, by the way.
Friend. Like nobody, like, it's so funny. Destiny's fans want Destiny's life because he's a loser like them. Destiny's a rich loser.
It's such a weird cope. Like, why not? There are different ways to live life, and different people can enjoy living life in different ways. How many years has it been that I've been streaming and people are like, oh, one day he's going to wake up and realize how much he hates himself, or one day he's going to lose everything, or people are going to realize like blah, blah, blah. Like, if you set your mindset up this way to where the only possible way your adversaries are existing is through secret misery that one day is going to be revealed, like how mindful going to be if that never happens. It's kind of like when people are like, oh, you know, bad people always get what's coming to them. No, they don't. There are some bad people that live incredibly happy lives, and they might even realize their wrongs later on and turn around and become good people, and nothing bad happens to them ever. Or there are some people that are super bad throughout the entirety of their lives, and they die as bad people and nothing bad happens. That just happens. That's life sometimes. This weird idea that everybody that doesn't share my values is secretly coping and hates life, and trust me, one day it'll all be revealed, is such a weird, stupid cope, and it's so unhealthy, and it's deeply damaging to your psyche, I think.
That's what he is. This dude took a massive L after making all the red pill rounds and acting like he was so much more, him and Melina, we are so much more enlightened. You guys.
I love how people make this claim too. I never recommend an open relationship to anybody. I never recommend any of this shit. I always say like, yeah, we've got problems that we deal with. Like it's so funny. Again, anytime somebody presents like a different lifestyle or a different thing to your own, people instantly assume they're like, oh, you think you're way better? No, it's just how I run my shit. Why do you assume that? Like, why are you so threatened by anything that doesn't 100% fall within, you know, your rules for life?
Don't understand. The open relationship is the way to go. Every one of us told everybody exactly what would happen in that relationship.
I don't think it's damaging to the psyche. Honestly, it seems like the natural healthy state. To constantly wish that people who disagree with you are on their downfall? No. The healthy state is to be able to persevere and move through life irrespective of what other people do, and to have like a realistic outlook on life. Like, sometimes bad people get rewarded. Sometimes good people get killed. Like, it happens. There's not a rhyme or reason to it, but being able to accept that and moving on is the healthy thing. Not constantly tricking yourself that one day it's going to catch up to all of them and you're going to get yours. That's not true. You only get what you work for. Or if you're wealthy, what's handed to you?
And it did. And what does this idiot go back and do? Well, my next relationship is also going to be poly.
Destiny, go watch Dune 2 right now, based.
Nah, bruh. No, you f***ed up and you can't admit you. This dude, Destiny is so hell-bent on getting it. Destiny doesn't want to get it right. He wants...
Do you think they really care about your lifestyle, or do they just see a few clips and feel like they can push a narrative? The issue is because they have a very narrow construction of the world, and they have a very hard time imagining other minds, that people that do things that run contrary to what they think would make them happy, there's no way to make sense of that other than it's all a cope. That's how it works, basically. So if I think in order to be successful, you're going to do A, B, and C, and I see somebody else doing X, Y, Z, well, secretly they must be miserable. There's no way they can enjoy X, Y, and Z. So they must be like coping, or they're miserable, or whatever. It's all going to come crashing down. That's basically the way that it works with people like this.
Wants to be right. He wants to be right so badly that he is willing to subject himself to another relationship just so that we don't say, I told you so. I got news for you, Steve.
Like, how revealing is it that you would think I would ever choose relationship partners or do relationship stuff based on what people online are dictating for me. What a wild and sad way to live. As opposed to this guy who lied about his stepdaughter being a stepdaughter for years on his stream and lied and said it was his niece because he was too embarrassed to admit that he married a single mom, somebody that he told his audience to stay away from forever, right? So obviously that's influencing his decisions.
Even, we told you so. If your next relationship is going to be poly, it's going to end probably worse than it did with Melina. Seriously, like, get the out of here with this nonsense. Like, he went on every podcast he can think of. And he's talking to anyone who would listen about how enlightened their relationship is, and about how
So triggered. Oh my God.
monogamy is just so overrated, and about how we're so much better than you. Then your wife started dude in the apartment you paid for.
It's not technically true. He's also got like bits and pieces of stories that that is like,
yeah, total winner. No, you're a loser, you blue-haired, and so are your fans. Dude, all of Destiny's fans are losers, because it's just like Candace said. You wouldn't follow someone whose life you wouldn't want. Destiny's fans want to be like Destiny because they're losers just like him. Like you heard.
he sounds like he's about to cry.
That's what I would say to everybody. And he plays to young people who just
Didn't
want
this guy
somebody
dodge
to
like 2 debates
reinforce
with you?
their bad
Yeah,
ideas, and I'm
we've
never
talked
gonna do
about
that
it a couple
because
times. This
he
guy
did
would
comment
never
on me doing something like
have a
this and was
conversation
like,
with me.
just
I had a
defending
whole
people
workup
that had
prepared
bad
for him
lifestyles.
too, a
I'm
whole
like, why would you
dossier. It was
want
gonna be good
girls
times.
to have a bad lifestyle? You're pretending that I'm the monster. I'm sitting across from these people saying like,
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.